Welcome back to part 2 of the video of the Oneplanet Adventure Llandegla Cannock Chase group ride. Pick this up now as we're just dropping into Beeline and the Boardwalk section through the trees, which is a bit scary to say the least. I managed to stay in the middle on the wooden bit, which not everybody did, but we'll not go into that. I must get better at doing that drop off. But yeah, as you go through the Beeline, there are quite a few little drops, and then it sort of picks speed up as it goes downhill, and there are numerous of these jumps and tabletops and doubles, and depending on how good you are, they're all rollable, but you can really get some air on them. You then do a short climb, and then follow this section of Beeline, which is absolutely awesome because you really pick speed up down here going over these little jumps, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and as you follow it down, you go around this berm in a second. Near all the whooping behind, and so the jumps get bigger and bigger and bigger until you get this huge great one at the end that takes you into a massive berm, which the camera just does not do justice to. You'll see in a second. Here we go over this one, and this berm is absolutely massive. And then there's a whole series of little jumps and tabletops as you go down here all the way to the bottom. Absolutely brilliant fun. So you can really pick some speed up and get some jumps in if you've got the confidence to do it, which I'll be honest, I haven't. And then you follow that section through and start climbing.
Whoa!
Yeah, trouble is, of course, climbing. If you're not going quite fast enough, there's a tendency to fall off. And the exposure on some of this, if you look down to the left, there's cracking views, but it's a bit scary on some of these bits. But so cracking views, and then drops down again, following this bit through the woods as we're climbing up again. There's a whole series of these where you sort of do little climbs and then drop down again. We stopped here to have a play on this jump. I didn't, because I'd fall off. So some of the guys who are much better riders than me were having great fun here.
Oh. Keep that speed up, bro. You know what? Keep the speed up, that's it. Yay. It's his bars.
It's always a poor workman who blames his tools, as they say. So we carried on through the woods, and so there's some of these nice little descents and then climbs, and they really flow very well. It's very much got a cross-country feel to it, this part of the course. This bit's called the Golden Trail, and it's quite intimidating because some of the drops off this bit of Boardwalk are anything up to sort of 3, 4, even 5 feet in places. So if you go off the edge, there's a lot of potential to hurt yourself. The knack really is don't get too close to the person in front, so that you can adjust your speed to suit your riding and so on. Because the last thing you want to do is catch up with the person in front and then have to stop when you're all over the place. A little bit of a drop off at the end, which I always forget about because I'm concentrating that hard riding the Boardwalk. A few little jumps on there if you're keen enough to do them. There we go, and this flows nicely downhill. You can really pick some speed up down here. Once you know what's around the corner, it's a lot better. So once you've done this a few times, you can really get fast on it. Come along here into a series of switchbacks. this leads you on down then to what they call Julius Trail. There we go. And this is quite nice, some nice little rock features here to go down. And again there's little climbs and then sort of rundowns. Some more little bits of boardwalk which are quite tricky because they're on the uphill bit, so you don't get the chance to pick up much speed to get your momentum to go over them, so you've really got to watch your line on them. But,
they're scary.
yes, they are a bit scary. And then there's one or two technical climbs as well, of which this is one. And you've got to watch your line on this one and try and keep a bit of speed up and a bit of space between you and the rider in front. And try and keep to the left because there's tree roots on the right which are a bit slippy. I managed to clear that okay. And then back onto the rolling ups and downs. So we've been out for quite some time now. We're getting ready to head back to the cafe soon. Fortunately it's not that far away. And one of our riders managed to go off into the undergrowth, doing a bit of exploring there. And this is the last main section, the dark side. It sort of flows through the trees at the back of the trail centre. It sort of zigzags, well, flows really rather than zigzags down through the woods, across the last bit of boardwalk, and into what feels like quite a tortuous climb at the end. It's not actually that bad, but over that climb, and then we swoop down through these bends. They flow really nicely. Just what you need near the end of the trail when you're getting a bit tired. And certainly put a smile on your face as you fly over these little yumps. And there's one little climb around the corner we've just done there, down this bit. It's a bit of a rocky descent. Through the rock garden, and you then come out onto a bit of a fire road in a second. There you go, across that, and then round the final bit to the trail centre. If you've enjoyed the video, please give us a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of this stuff. Thanks very much for watching. I suggest you do what we did here. Go and get a cup of tea and a piece of cake.